So good to have you back, Charlie Musselwhite. Back in the first time ever in the eTown Hall. And we've done, I don't know how many times, I think this is maybe 6 or 7 times that you've been on eTown, and we feel very fortunate to be able to say that. But here you are in our own house for the first time, which I like.
That's right, and I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
It's really comfortable.
You know, Charlie, you always kept your own band for many years. But the last 2 times I saw you play live, once was with Cyndi Lauper, and once you were playing in a band that you and Ben Harper had put a record out. That must have been a very different experience for you to be out in those kinds of circumstances.
Yeah, it was quite a different thing from what I usually do with Cyndi and Ben. But I still just play the blues. Wherever setting I'm in,
Yeah.
I just know one song. It's just blues. I might change the key and speed it up or slow it down, but it's still just the one song.
Yeah.
Actually, it's just a joke, kind of a way of saying I have a style.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's the thing about music is that if you're lucky, you get to have a style. If you work really hard, if you practice, you get to be excellent. You get to be able to play with other people. And eventually, if you keep doing that, you'll be able to be recognized by your sound, which happens for you. When you play, people know it's you.
Well, when I first started playing, it seemed like the idea was you played your own blues. That was my feeling from the beginning. And all the guys I ever met, they would always say, "Don't copy me, you know, play your own stuff," you know.
Yeah.
So I just grew up with that attitude.
Well, you know, you've outlived so many of your buddies and your contemporaries from the old days, from your pathway along the way. And I know you live well. I know you eat well. I know you have acupuncture from time to time. That's not a very, you know, I know that's probably going to not be good for your blues man image for people to know that. But
I figure after what I've been through,
yeah, whatever works,
yeah.
right?
I mean, I'm glad to be here or anywhere. So
Yeah.
it's all good from here on, you know.
You've got a new record out. It's called I Ain't Lying. What's that? How did that come to be? What's that about? It was a lot of it's mostly cut live.
Yeah, it was at a little festival in a park in a town called Sonoma, California. And there were some people that had the ability to record there, and we thought it'd be, you know, see what happens. So they seemed to know what they were doing. And we took those tapes down to Clarksdale, Mississippi to a friend of mine's studio to mix them, and that's where we found out that those people that recorded did not record the harmonica. All the other instruments were there, but me, I was somewhere in the background.
Oh, wow. Oops.
Which was interesting because, you know, you would think that they would make sure they got that one thing right. But on the other hand, it was really great because, okay, there I am in the studio. There's no band is not with me, but I'm there.
Yeah.
And I can fix those tapes that they messed up.
Yeah, so you overdubbed all your parts.
Was re-recorded in Clarksdale.
Oh, well, it's so interesting. That's a really unusual way to make a record, but
whatever it takes.
Yeah. And I know your wife Henry took the cover shot on the CD jacket.
Yeah, with her iPhone or something.
Yeah. Well, again, whatever it takes.
Well, those phones are doing pretty good.
They're
now.
doing pretty well. Those cameras are all right.
Yeah.
In case you just tuned in, you're listening to eTown. I'm here with Charlie Musselwhite. I was talking before, Charlie, about how you migrated from Memphis, from Mississippi, where you were born, to Memphis, and then to Chicago, and then on to California. And now I hear that you're thinking about possibly heading back towards Mississippi. I mentioned that you got the keys to the city from Clarksdale the other day. That's kind of a big,
Mayor Bill
big honor.
Luckett gave me the keys to the city, which is kind of worrisome because if anything's missing, they might think I got it. You know?
Who's got the keys? Oh, yeah. Pretty funny, Charlie. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Well, when I was growing up, I spent a lot of time in Clarksdale because I had a lot of relatives there when I was a kid back in the 50s, but they're all gone now. But so I have a lot of memories from there, and it's nice to go back there. And I have cousins there I've never met, but we might keep it that way. I don't know.
You probably, when you go back to Clarksdale now, after all this time and all these miles behind you, do you feel like that's home? That the light and the air and the humidity, and does that feel like where you're from?
Yeah, it resonates with you. I mean, when you go back to where you came from, it feels right,
Yeah.
I mean, I like California too, but it's something about being in Mississippi that just the way people talk and the food and everything. I know I'm home.
Yeah. Well, you also probably, I mean, as I understand it, you've also got some Native American blood coursing through your veins, whether it's Choctaw or Cherokee or something. That probably makes it even a deeper connection to that part of the world.
Well, that's what I've been told.
Yes. It's funny, thinking about the days of you growing up there, you were in a very fertile musical time living in Memphis as a kid. Bunch of really important music happening all around you as you were coming up, right?
Yeah, I mean, Memphis back then was just a great blues town, rockabilly, gospel, everything. You had the greatest gospel radio. They still do. Johnny and Dorsey Burnett lived across the street. They were like early rockabilly
The rock and roll
guys.
trio, yeah.
Huh?
They had the rock and roll trio, right?
Yeah, that's right. And next door to me was a guy named Jimmy Griffin, who later on had a band called Bread, and then the Remingtons, and a couple of blocks away was a guy named Slim Rhodes. He was kind of a hillbilly, rockabilly guy.
And you were in high school with Johnny Cash's brother for a period of time,
Yeah,
right?
Tommy Cash. He was on the basketball team, and at the basketball games, you see Johnny all the time with another real crazy guy named Dewey Phillips. He was a DJ in Memphis. He had the Red Hot and Blue show. He was out of control. I've never seen anything. Later on, he had a TV show in the afternoon, and it was so bizarre. I remember just laying on the floor crying. I was laughing so hard and missing half the show because I couldn't get my eyes open. Felt like my ribs were cracking.
What was going on? What was so funny or what was so crazy about the TV show? And how did he get that on TV?
Well, this guy, it's hard to explain him, but it was like a stream of consciousness. He was just saying stuff. They finally kicked him off because he got so, well, no, first they moved him to real late. Like he came on at, instead of 3 in the afternoon, he came on at midnight. And then from there, he got so outrageous, they actually pulled the plug in the middle of the show.
Wow.
I mean, it was just bizarre. I mean, it was a wonder they lasted as long as they did, all the stuff they were doing.
What about Elvis? Did you ever run across Elvis when you were down there?
Yeah, I had his phone number. I'd call up and find out where the party was going to be. He would rent places all around Memphis. He'd rent the fairgrounds, and you go there, right? All the rides would be free, and Cokes and hot dogs free, and just ramble around, and all these good-looking girls. Or you go to the theater, and you have a bunch of the latest movies and a whole run of Roadrunner cartoons, because he loved the Roadrunner. And or he'd rent a skating rink, or just different things. And I just called up and found out where it was going to be that night. And
that's pretty wild, Charlie.
Yeah.
Not many people not many people that I know could say what you just said. Maybe, I'm trying to think. Maybe Wanda Jackson had his phone number for a little while there, probably. Yeah, but that's awesome.
All that time in Memphis and Chicago too. At first, I didn't know I was going to have a career in music. I'd have paid way more attention and taken pictures, and I just didn't know.
Well, here you are, still out there touring, out there playing, writing, making songs, making music. Carry your silver satchel full of harmonicas wherever you go, and it's taking you some great places.
Boy, howdy.
Yeah, and you may start spending some more time down in Mississippi. It sounds like in Clarksdale.
Well, once I get the kitchen in there, Henrietta and I can have food. We're more. It's more healthy. Yeah. I mean, down there, everything is pretty much fried.
Yeah.
And I like that too, but it's not.
You've been living in California too long. Yeah, you got to get some kale in there, some salads.
That food's okay if you're doing like real hard labor all day, you know. I did enough of that a long time ago. I
Yeah.
don't want to do that no more.
Yeah. Well, Charlie, I'm glad whatever you're doing that's keeping you healthy and productive, and you look great. You're in your 70s. You're still just working hard and doing good things. So thanks for stopping by again. We're always happy to have you on the show.
I love it here.
Yeah.
And I
Welcome
love
back,
you
if you
guys.
would, Charlie Musselwhite. Hi, this is Nick Forster from eTown. If you want to stay up to date with all the performances, interviews, and behind-the-scenes footage, click the subscribe button. Thanks.